The hell was this chapter, man? I was almost not gonna review chapter 1057 of Mid Piece, but I couldn't just let this go. It's been on my mind. It's been in my mind, on my mind. I don't know what to say, man. The heck was this chapter, bro? Yamato, why? I mean, let's just address the elephant in the room. Yamato does not join the Straw Hat crew. I don't know why Oda did this. Like, the first thing I thought about when I read that panel was, what was the point all this time? Like, I don't know if you guys remember, but episode 1015 was probably the best cinematic episode that One Piece has come out with, and now it's just been wasted. That episode has just been wasted because I don't know why, man. Also, what was all the build up for? All those panels. I'll bring up on the screen here somewhere. Hopefully, there was someone on Twitter posted a picture of all the panels that Oda used for the flashback of Yamato, Ace, etc. Like, at this point, I'm not okay. It might sound that I'm mad about Yamato not joining, but it's not her not joining. It's the lack of explanation as to why she's not joining. It would have been fine if she didn't join. Actually, I prefer it in some way that she didn't join, because mostly the dynamic between Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, Jinbei would have been, the power dynamic would have been kind of disturbed with Yamato joining the crew, because then Sanji probably wouldn't be the third strongest and there would be like this weird balance. So I can see why it's still better for the story that Yamato doesn't join. And also, we finally got Jinbei on the crew after how many years since Fishman Island? Like 9 years. So in some ways it's still a good thing that she didn't join, but it feels like this decision was just made in the last minute by Oda and no explanation given. I don't like it when we have to headcanon the reasons why she didn't join. Speculation is that she saw the fight between Aramaki and the Scabbards and how they aren't ready to like defend themselves against outside forces. But there still wasn't anything in clear writing saying, or at least her thinking going through her mind, that okay, Aramaki, the situation between Aramaki happened, that's why maybe I should stay. Her reason for staying is BS, bro. Like, it's BS. Like, I'm trying to think. I'm finding it hard to get words out of my mouth as to why her reason was BS, because of so many reasons, right? For example, her willing to stay back because Oden did it is completely wrong, because Oden traveled through Wano because he was already there and stuck. He didn't choose to travel through Wano and get all the Scabbards on his side and then eventually build this kind of force. And also, after Onigashima, Yamato was free for like a full week, right? She couldn't explore Wano in that week. And what's left of Wano in the first place? Like, what's there left to see in Wano? Everything is destroyed. There's still a huge rebuilding project. Yeah. I don't know what to say. This is why this chapter just sucks. Because Yamato should have had a clear reasoning as to why she was gonna stay back, bro. This is why I didn't want to review this chapter, because this I wouldn't know what to say because I'm so mad. Yeah, I didn't want to do this. I feel like I'm just forcing myself to do this because I enjoy talking about One Piece, but I'm not enjoying talking about this chapter of Mid Piece. God damn. But anyway, let's just review. Let's just go through the rest of the chapter. The cover, before the cover page, some more Uta information. I mean, rumors are just speculating that the woman who's carrying Uta and singing, and to stop Uta crying, looks like Luffy's mom. I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I like to think that it is, because if you haven't seen Arthur's whole theory as to what the One Piece is and how One Piece is a bottle of sake, and how Big Sake, the song, ties in the whole story of what One Piece is supposed to be, it would be kind of nice to see like Luffy's mom being the one who can sing well, because Luffy likes to party, and like along all those themes, if she can sing well, then maybe Luffy had a nice childhood with her. I don't know how long he had with I don't know how much time he spent with his mom. So, but that's just what I'm thinking. I don't know if that made any sense, but yeah, this is just based on Arthur's theory of what One Piece actually is, right? Then we go through the cover page. My man Caesar Clown Gastino saves the day, like I said last week. Yeah, he used poison gas to distract Karakuri and Oven. This is another thing, right? Like, if Caesar manages to beat both Karakuri and Oven, that'll just be disappointing. Because then what's the point of having all this power scaling discussions? I've seen many videos on YouTube, people saying who's stronger, Karakuri or King or XYZ. Like, Caesar should not be able to beat these guys that easily. I know he's not beating them. I feel like he'll use like a cheap trick to get away, kind of like the oxygen thing he did with Luffy when he sucked out all the oxygen around Luffy. I feel like that's what he's gonna do to buy enough time to escape with Germa 66, but that's just my prediction. Yeah, then you go through this disappointing Yamato news. Yeah, Oda is doing this kind of Raikugo, Japanese poetry, to just go through the final part of Wano. Momo is mad that Luffy and Kinemon left, that Luffy and the crew left while saying bye to Momo and Kinemon, and rightfully so. They've been together for 9 years, like since Punk Hazard. I just started watching it, so it feels like 3 months to me, but for people, 9 years is a long time. So, I mean, in real life, for them it's been like a few months. So, for me, the flashbacks didn't really hit that deep, because I just caught up to One Piece, and I watch weekly videos on theories and discussions, so all this stuff is fresh in my mind. But I can see how impactful this can be for readers who've been reading week to week, casually, not so involved in the fandom. So that makes sense, and it just ties in the whole concept of Luffy finally leaving, and Momo has to, come to terms with it, and he's crying and he's sobbing. He doesn't want to accept it. So I think that's why the throwback was necessary. Kind of like what the anime does. So I'm kind of scared as to when the anime finally catches up. I feel like the anime will have one episode just dedicated to this flashback. So like I feel like chapter 1057 in the anime will be like 2 or 3 episodes, because they probably will make the flashback a filler, if you know what I mean. Uh, yeah, this just big conflict between Momo and the crew. I found it cute, by the way. I don't know. I'm jumping around. I found it cute how Law is like, next time we meet, we're gonna be enemies, and Luffy's just like waving, "Bye, Law," like casually, and Chopper's in the background. Chopper's the cutest man. Chopper's in the background just saying, "Bye, bye, Trow guy, bye, Traff." It's adorable. I feel like they'll bump into Law again. Uh, so it'll just be a little ironic. Not ironic, it'll just be funny that Law says next time we meet we're gonna be enemies, and then they catch up. I'll so here's the theory around that, right? I just watched Tekking's video today on what the next islands are gonna be based on the geography and some stuff from last year. I don't know what it's called. It's like a chapter note kind of thing where Oda gave a hint as to what the islands around Wano are. So based on Tekking's discussion, the Straw Hats are going to Sphinx, Whitebeard's hometown, and the Heart Pirates are going to Elbaf. So I feel like the Sphinx arc will be very short. Catching up, I think Luffy will finally see Ace's grave, and that'll be a nice way to kickstart the new world. Finally, like the final saga of One Piece. Luffy at Ace's grave having an emotional moment. It'll just be a wonderful. I can't wait for that panel if that happens. And yeah, the Sphinx arc is going to be very small if that happens, and then they will probably catch up to the Heart Pirates in Elbaf, because if the Heart Pirates are going to Elbaf next, I don't see them leaving anytime soon. So it might just be a funny, get together again. Luffy and all get to Elbaf, and then they see the Heart Pirates there. Even though Law said that next time we're going to be enemies, but I think it's going to be a nice thing to see them catch up again. And then the best part about this arc, sorry. The best part about this chapter, in my opinion, I think in everyone's opinion, is Luffy giving the Jolly Roger to Wano. This is Luffy's first official territory as a Yonko, super hype. Great moment. I'm not gonna lie. I had goosebumps when I first saw that. Like, Luffy finally has a territory, and if you think about it, Luffy has many territories while going around the seas, but this is his first official Yonko territory. If you wanna think back to all of Luffy's territories, Fishman Island definitely. If he needs their help, they will come. Zou, Skypiea, those are like some big territories that technically not under Luffy, but for the next big war, if he needs help, I feel like they will come and back him up for sure. And yeah, the most controversial part of this chapter, I keep saying arc, frick man. The most controversial part of this chapter is Hiyori's final speech, when they're like wrapping up the Raikugo and the dialogue that Hiyori says that the Kurozumi are meant to be burnt. When the chapter first came out, like what I do is when the chapter comes out, I go on Twitter, search the hashtag One Piece chapter number, and then see what's the general reaction. And a lot of people were getting pissed that this is like going back on everything that Wano was supposed to be, like getting rid of the racism or classism. Kind of like, I don't know how to describe it, but like it wasn't supposed to be like this. Like they were supposed to learn from their mistakes and move on, and this just feels like a big racist kind of remark from Hiyori. But that was the TCB translation. I think TCB misinterpreted it, so that when the official Viz translation came out, it was clearly stated that Kurozomi, not the clan collectively, but just Orochi, was meant to burn, since Kurozomi in Japanese literally means black coal. So it is poetic. It is like Oden is meant to boil, is meant to be boiled, but Oden's gesture was more heroic. It was more symbolic of his bravery, and this just felt like a cheap way to bring down the Kurozomi name, and the fact that the performer on the stage told everyone to just repeat after him, Kurozomi are meant to burn, they are meant to burn. It's just ingraining in the people's minds that Kurozomi are the bad guys, Kozuki are the good guys, right? So that's the racism thing that people were struggling with. But I think after the Viz translation, it makes people a little more calm, because it was just meant to be for Orochi, not for the clan in general. But yeah. Next chapter, I feel like the bounties will come out. I don't know, man. I'm not in the mood to discuss One Piece right now. Mid Piece has just pissed me off, bro. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. Peace.